Hi, I'm Antonia. I'm from London and I'm studying a Masters in Law with the Bar course at City. I chose to study a Masters in Law with the Bar course at City because I had a friend that previously did the LPC here, and from her experience, I kind of knew what it would be like to study at the law school, the kind of resources and opportunities they have available, all of which were of great interest to me. In terms of doing the Masters, because the bar course it's split up into three, so you can either just do the bar course on its own, do the bar course with specialisms, or do the bar course, specialisms, and a Masters. I chose to do all three. And so for me, that choice was based on wanting to do some specialist research in an area of law and just get that extra understanding in an area of law that was of particular interest to me. So I chose international ADR and international commercial trade. And then with doing the Masters, City has some fantastic clinical legal education options. I personally chose to volunteer with Amicus, which is an organisation that assists American attorneys on capital cases. There's all different types of opportunities available, so it's definitely something worth considering, because even though it doesn't necessarily impact an application for pupillage, it may not, but what it definitely will do is give you that experience and that kind of practical understanding of what it would be like to work in an area of law that you're interested in. What I like most about doing the bar course is that it's very practical. It's a professional course, which means that you're actually looking at the real life considerations of the things that you're doing. In undergrad, I think law is more theoretical, so you're looking at kind of what underpins the law, how it applies, why, and all of these other things, whereas at the bar course, you are still thinking about those things, but it's not really necessary to explain it in great detail. It's more of, using the understanding of how certain laws work or how certain case law works and just applying it straight for your client. And I think because it allows you to think very practically, you also get the opportunity to really inject your own personality and kind of make your style of advocacy, make your style of writing very much your style. Before coming to do the bar course, I had done law with politics at undergrad. I did it at a different university. I then took 2 years off before deciding to come here. I think in terms of taking time off and then choosing to go back into education, it can be a little difficult, but in my experience, it was more so because I think a lot of people have a lot of questions about whether you're ready to go back, whether you ever will go back. And I think the most important thing is really knowing that if this is something you want to do, you just have to do it. And in fact, actually coming to the bar course with having professional experience, whether it's in the legal field or outside of the legal field, it is actually quite helpful because you understand a lot about client care, relationships, and you'll find that perhaps a lot of the skills that you have obtained whilst you've taken that break from education could actually be really, really useful. I don't think I have a favourite moment in particular. I think generally the entire course has been really fun. I've made a lot of really, really amazing friends. I think one of the really phenomenal things about the bar course is that you are put into groups of around, I would say 12 to 13, right when you start the bar course. And then you do all of your core bar course modules with them. So you really do get that opportunity to make friends and to have your little network, have your little community. So yeah, like when you come in, I think because it can be a little bit daunting, especially if you've been out of education for a while, to come to a setting where you don't know anyone and you're learning something completely new because you're trying to balance all of these things. And actually becoming friends with your group is really helpful for the social aspect of doing the bar course as well, because it's very full on. It's heavily front loaded, so the majority of the work is really geared right at the beginning. And you'll often find that it's quite hard to actually organise real social events with friends externally, because your schedules just don't match up. You've got a bunch of work to complete. You don't really have the time to, go out and go to a restaurant and come back. But actually between classes, it might be quite easy for you to go out with a few of your peers to go and grab a coffee or to grab something to eat, to discuss some work or not discuss work at all. And so it does also provide that social element, which I'm really grateful for, because I feel like my group were absolutely wonderful and I loved being a part of Group 21. Probably conference skills. My conference skills tutor was also my academic advisor, and it was just, I think it was probably one of my favourite classes to go to because it just felt very relaxed. It was basically just kind of the art of a conversation and just being able to talk to your client very normally, very naturally. And it probably was definitely my favourite module to date. I choose not to do too many things that are kind of extracurricular, just because the course will take up a lot of your time. Doing extracurriculars is very important because you want to be able to build up your CV and show that you've done mooting, you've done debating. I think pretty much everyone would have done at least one moot before they intend to apply for pupillage. So it's really, really good to get the extracurriculars down. However, you also do need free time to just chill out and relax. I personally like to knit or to draw, to do basically anything other than work, because it's important that you just have that free time to not think about all of the work you have to do. I think the course has impacted me in a lot of different ways, but I think probably the funniest way it's impacted me, and I think that there will be a lot of people that can attest to this, is that it almost changes the way that you interact with everything around you, because you're always looking at something going, I wonder what a liability would be with this. Or just looking at regular everyday scenarios and kind of identifying all of the legal characteristics. I would really like to do a PhD once I'm finished with the bar course. It's going to be a lot of work, but I have a love for law and for lexicology, so I would love to do some further research into that, and I think it will also probably help in terms of going for pupillage when I get there, or just generally in terms of building my practice, because I'll have that specified in very enhanced knowledge in an area that is very useful and very helpful, because it's about making determinations, making decisions, biases, interpretations, and all of these things, which really are the kind of crux of what being a barrister is all about. I think a big one has got to be AI. AI is everywhere, and some people love it, some people do not love it. And I think that actually seeing how it kind of integrates into more systems is going to be interesting, because as with pretty much everything that's new, it comes out and people have their opinions, and it might be used for a lot of really, really good things, but eventually it probably will be used for some bad things, at which point the law will have to get involved, and legislation will have to be passed, or maybe it will be case law. But trying to figure out the jurisdiction, the parameters of how these laws would work, figuring out, just how you can actually kind of stop the misuse of AI and things like that is going to be very interesting, because it's a lot more intangible than most things in law is created to protect. And because it's kind of ever evolving and it's constantly learning and adapting, I think it's going to be quite a tall order for lawyers everywhere to figure out, but it will definitely be something very exciting to watch. Firstly, be prepared get set up with IT, get set up with Moodle, do as much as you physically can before you start so you feel orientated by the time the course actually starts and you're not just constantly trying to keep up with what's going on. Secondly, carve time out for yourself during the week. You need time where you're not working, nothing academic, nothing professional, you're just relaxing, whether it be reading a book, going playing football, watching Netflix, baking, cooking, knitting, whatever it is that brings you joy, do it. Find time, make time to do it. Because if you completely overexert yourself trying to work all the time, you're going to start to feel stressed, tired, maybe a little annoyed, and it's not going to help you in terms of studying, and it's not going to make your studying any more productive. So carve out some time so that you can kind of, maintain your energy for the course, and you can just keep it going from the beginning to the end. And lastly, I would say if you're struggling with the first year, if you're struggling with your schedule and balancing the timings, or if you're struggling kind of emotionally, you're getting stressed, you feel you're not sleeping too well, you're just very tired, ask for help. There are a multitude of people, resources, services at City that are available. Utilise them. Talk to people. Send emails. Talk to your course rep about course rep stuff. Talk to your academic advisor about pretty much anything. They'll always be able to kind of signpost you. Okay, you can speak to this person or speak to that person. Whoever it is you speak to, find someone to speak to. Because there are people that are here to help, and they want to help, and are willing to help. So take them up on it and just, get some help. And you'll often be surprised at how easy it is to resolve an issue by just talking to someone. Incredibly effective, incredibly useful, and it doesn't take much effort at all. Just an email or a phone call or just a conversation if you see someone around. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Bye.